Hello everyone, my name is and welcome back to the Lovecraftian Video Game Retrospective and welcome to Darkness Myth. Darkness Myth is an interactive novel and it's an otome game. Just in case you're not familiar with the otome genre, it is a genre that stems from Japan. The games are usually visual novels or simulation games, and not always but often you have a single female main character and you take the role of that character and you interact with a number of male characters, usually attractive, usually dateable, and of varying types. And that's the case here as well. You take the role of a Japanese college girl and your parents get killed because someone sets your entire city on fire, and the guy who did that is Cthulhu. Cthulhu, who is, well, he's not Cthulhu. He's actually a handsome gentleman. He's also an elder god, and he needs to be stopped, and you're the only one who can stop him because you are the key to sealing away an elder god, and Cthulhu is one. So he's one of the characters you can romance. There's also three more. There's Nyarlathotep, there is Yog-Sothoth, and there is Shub-Niggurath. And this is not Saya-no-Uta all over again. So these guys are not horrific eldritch monstrosities. They are elder gods, but they actually all look like attractive male humans, and they are of varying types. So you have Nyarlathotep, who's the aggressive, impulsive one. You have Yog-Sothoth, who is the serious and more academic one, and you have Shub-Niggurath, who is the gentle and very polite and slightly effeminate one. You do have a separate story for all four of them, including Cthulhu, and as expected you read a lot of dialogue and you make a couple of choices, about a dozen per story, and depending on what kind of choices you make, you'll get happy ending or less happy ending. And the stories don't vary too much and they are not terribly Lovecraftian. Obviously the characters have these Lovecraftian names, and the story does include Cthulhu wanting to destroy the world because he was betrayed by humanity at one point, but you may as well switch out those names for the names of, say, Roman gods, and it would work about as well. Also, the idea that you can date Cthulhu, it kind of fit the tropes, and this game has anime dating sim trope through the roof. But nevertheless, he's the guy who wants to destroy the world and effectively murdered your parents. But oh well, the game is mostly just backgrounds, stills of the characters, and dialogue boxes. That's kind of what you expect here, and that's all you get. The game is not for free. You can play the intro for free, but you have to pay for the rest of the story. But all the stories of the different characters can be played in about 5 to 10 minutes each. So it may not be worth the $5 that this game costs. And to be honest, the game is really only for you if you like these kinds of games. If not, this one is probably not the one that's going to convince you. And if you're proficient in the Japanese language, I do recommend that you play the game in that language, because the English translation is okay, but it's occasionally a little bit awkward. There also are a couple of technical issues. For example, occasionally you see name in brackets where it should be your character's name, which you can choose freely, even though there's a default name. And there's also a couple of other issues. For example, it's not made clear that your character is actually female, so when you name a character you might very well end up turning her into a him or someone less specific. And well, of course you can still play the game like this, but the game assumes that you are a female. And there's also a couple of odd choices. For example, the game starts with your city being on fire, and then it flashes back to you being together with your parents. So my assumption was that we would take a while to see how we get there. But no, about 15 seconds later the city's on fire again. So why did we even have the flashback? I don't know. And the game does have a couple of situations like this, so it does feel like the story was a little bit lumped together. So for an otome game, it's essentially what you can expect, but it's average, and unless you really like that genre, I cannot not recommend this game. But for the visuals, they look fine, but again, it's essentially what you see is probably what you expect in the first place if you are into these games. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Take care and goodbye.